the question that I really spent a ton of time with was, who did I want to be before I became who I'd become? Who did I want to be back in the day? Right? I believe that each of us were created with very intentional design. Whether you are a faith person or not, I just believe that there is something of a higher power that had just a conceit in having created you the way that you were created, your wiring, Tom, different than mine, your experiences different than mine, the way that you love or feel, all different. And in that difference, it makes you this limited edition one of one. And in that limited edition one of one that you are, you have an opportunity to honor the intention of your creator. And the work that I'm now on this planet to do, and that I would argue anyone is on this planet to do, is find a way every day to honor the intention of a creator who had very intentional design in the way that you were put together and the way that you've experienced the things that you have. So my question was, why was I created? Like, what was the intention?
And what are the clues you use to suss out the answer?
Well, the things that I think have been, like in the instances where I felt closest to purpose or closest to fulfillment.
Which feels like?
Which feels like I am going to end my life proud of myself. Okay. Or, I've heard you say it so many times and I just believe this so much. The most important question you can ask is, how do I feel about myself when I'm by myself? And the answer to that question is when you feel like you are in integrity with having done everything you possibly could have on that day to honor the measure of your creation, that you feel connected to, wow, I have been given these unique skills. So part of it is skills, right? Are there things that you can develop mastery around, that you have uniquely been blessed with or gifted with, that in the exploitation of those things, you might generate a feeling of pride for yourself, have legacy at the end of life, feel like you mattered when everything is said and done. And the utilization of those skills or not is the difference between integrity and feeling great about yourself when you're by yourself. The second is passion, right? You have to be connected to something that you have passion for. You can develop skill in almost anything. I can argue that with 10,000 hours or whatever it ends up being, you can develop mastery over time. I don't think you can develop passion though.
Really?
Oh no, I think you either have passion or you don't. And our job is to play in a ton of pools to find out where curiosity might lead to passion. And so asking...
So it still has to be discovered.
Still has to be discovered, which again was part of like all right, the world's just blown up. A lot of really, really important things in your life had to die so that you might be brought back to life. Who are you going to be is in some ways connected to what you have passion for. You couldn't answer a simple question about what you like to do in your spare time. You better start trying a bunch of things to find out what you like to do in your spare time. There's likely a connection to honoring the intention of your creator and what you like to do in your spare time, or what you would wake up and not even feel like it's work because you just love doing it so much.
The starting point to find your passion is to say yes more. We are in the no business. New idea comes. Oh no, I can't do that. New opportunity arises. You get invited. No, someone like me can't do this. We're constantly saying no, 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 no. You'll never find your passion by saying no. It's actually the opposite. You got to say yes. You got to say yes to opportunities. You got to say yes to ideas. You got to say yes to that thing that comes into your head that maybe you can go off and do. Yes, I'm going to try. I'm going to be willing to suck. I'm going to be willing for it not to work out, but I'm going to try, because we judge things before even trying. I like to say, how do you know what your favorite food is? Well, you know by trying. You know by tasting a whole bunch of different foods until you find the one that you love. Like, wow, that's my favorite food. Where most people, they don't try enough foods. If you think about sushi, that I use as an example, I wrote off sushi at the beginning. Like, that sounds nasty. Why you get? I mean, like, not judging. You want to eat it, awesome, but it sounds gross. It's raw fish wrapped in seaweed with some rice and fish eggs. That sounds gross, right? For someone who's not used to it, Italian, Western diet, that sounds gross. And you're gonna dip it in soy sauce and hot mustard, right? But you know what? I'm just gonna try it. you know what? This is really good. It tastes so good. Right now I love sushi. Sushi's got to be in my top 5 favorite foods. But we judge things, and we're doing that not just with foods, we're doing that with people, we're doing that with business ideas, we're doing that with opportunities. I look at YouTube and how long it took me, holy cow, how long it took me to get momentum because I was judging it. Not judging a platform, but judging myself, that someone like me can't do it because I'm introverted, because I'm shy, because only people with a big ego get in front of a camera, all of these things. I was just in a no business. I was saying no. I was saying no. I was saying no. I was saying no. And listen, I'm not perfect. I still say no on things that I'm trying to get better at. If you haven't found the thing that you're passionate about, that excites you, that drives you, that pushes you forward, you're not going to find it sitting on the couch, judging yourself and doing the same things that you have been doing. Right? If you do the exact same things you have been doing for the past year, your life doesn't change in the next year, right? You got to explore. You got to say yes. And that takes courage, and that takes jumping through some discomfort, and it just says the ability to say yes on things. So I was recently hanging out with Tom Bilyeu and Dave Hollis and a bunch of friends in Napa, and my biggest takeaway was I want to move faster on things. I want to move faster on new things. It's so easy to get locked into what you're currently doing. It's like, you know what? I need to move faster on things. And so I came home and I went faster on learning crypto. I went faster on learning about life insurance and investing. I went faster on creating my Discord server. I went faster on all the ideas that I had. It's like, okay, imperfect start, just build momentum and go. And now Discord has been a big part of my daily routine. I've adjusted my entire schedule to start my day in Discord. I went from spending 0 time on Discord, not understanding what it was, not understanding the graphics and what mods did and all the roles and all of the stuff, the lingo and all of the terminology, language. I didn't know any of it. To now, I spend the first chunk of my time every morning on Discord. If you want to join us, it's free, evancarmichael.biz. Come and join in. It's such a great way to start my day, because I love the community, because I love connecting with people. When I go to events, my favorite thing is to hang out in the hallway and talk to people. And that's basically what Discord is. You get to hang out in the hallway and talk to people and help them and spread love. And we have so many amazing people. And the point of that is I now have this new thing in my calendar that I love and I look forward to. It's like I can't wait to go back and say hi to everybody. Even though I'm shy and introverted, it feels weird. But a month ago, I wasn't doing it at all. And it could have easily been the thing that I said no to, that I said, I'm so busy. I have YouTube and I have my other channels and I have my team and I have, right, all the stories we tell ourselves as to why we can't do it. It's being in the no business. How do you know until you try? How do you know if your great idea is great unless you try? Or if it sucks unless you try? How do you know if you're going to love something unless you try? How do you know if you're going to love that person unless you try? You don't know until you try. So what are some practical steps? Okay. Number 1, when you get an idea that comes into your head, trust it. I wish I could X. Oh, I've got this cool idea for me to Y. Do it. Just trust that the idea is a good idea. Trust that it's good, it's for you, it's meant for you, especially if you're in a positive environment, you're watching a video like this, or you're at an event, and you're talking to somebody and you have positive vibes. It's like, I want to go make this. Trust that that idea is good. Get out of the no business and just start building some immediate momentum. So trust that good ideas flow through you. Good ideas, great ideas, extraordinary ideas flow through you. Trust that. Trust that and do something about it. Because we don't want to wait another year and another year and another year and you're still sitting on these ideas because someone like you can't do it, right? So 1, trust that great ideas flow through you and do something about it. 2, tie it into service, right? Your purpose comes from your pain. So whatever you struggle the most with is what you want to help other people through. So tie that to service. Your passion is something that you'll love helping other people with. So it's not just about you. If your own passion, that's just a hobby, right? Something you love doing for yourself, great, that's just a hobby. But ultimately, we all want to feel important. We all want to feel, not from an egotistical point of view, it's wired into us, from a human point of view. We want to feel like we matter. We want to feel like we're going to do something today that will have an impact on other people. We are connected to each other. And so your passion will tie into your purpose. Your purpose comes from your pain. Whatever you struggle the most with is what you want to help other people through. So inside of that, helping the you from 5 years ago or 10 years ago, what do you need to do? What are some of the steps that you can sit there and help the you from 5 years ago? That will be a part of your passion. To wake up and feel like I'm doing this, that's fun, that's exciting for me. It doesn't feel like work, but it is also having an impact. It has to tie to service. It has to. If you want it to fill you up for the rest of your life, it has to tie to service. That it's not just this one, short timeline thing just to help you feel good. It has to help other people feel good as well somehow. So number one is trust that great ideas flow through you. 2, tie it to service. You feel like you're helping other people. It's going to make a big, big, big difference. And then number 3 is pay attention to things that make you scared. Pay attention to things that make you scared and teach yourself that you do difficult things. So a lot of times an idea might come to you or somebody might suggest something for you, and the immediate thing that comes to mind is, this is difficult, or your heart's beating. I call it the boom, boom, boom test, where your heart's going boom, 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 because you're nervous, because you're afraid of doing that thing. Often your next amazing passion is on the other side of all those things that you're afraid of. Because you're afraid that it's not going to work, you're afraid that it's going to disappoint people, you're afraid that it will work, you're afraid of failure, and you're afraid of success. You're afraid of judgment, you're afraid of rejection, you're afraid. But you don't find your passion by staying afraid. You find it by saying yes. So the things that are making you afraid, the things that make your heart go boom, 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 like that, trust it and try it. Expect it to suck. Expect not to get any results. Expect your first shot to miss. That's okay. What's more important than if you got the result is, did you enjoy the process? Did you have fun doing it? Are you excited to go back and do it again? You've got a great gift inside you. You know you're capable of more. You know you want to serve. You know you want to help. You know that you don't want to stay stuck. That's not that your life sucks right now, but you want it to be more full. You want it to be more rich. You want to be in a different spot in 1 year from today. And that happens by tapping into the thing that you're passionate about. It's the number one rule for success. You love the work. You love the process of doing the thing that you're doing every day. And you get that by getting out of the no business. Stop telling yourself that you can't. Stop telling yourself no. Stop telling yourself that someone like you can't do it. And instead flip it to say, yes, I'm gonna try.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Passion plus growth plus contribution equals personal satisfaction.
Yeah. It's like those all coming together, a lot of people have never experienced. And it's hard for you and I to say that as personal development guys, but it's true. There's a lot of people who have never had those 3 completely line up, so they're not satisfied even with their job or their career or their life, because the passion isn't there. Even if the passion's there, they don't feel like they're growing. But everybody who I talk to, do you remember that first personal development book you read? Do you remember that first time you wrote tons of notes about what you wanted your life to be about? Do you remember that first time you watched a movie that inspired you to go change? There was fire there because that learning, it opened up your mind to a new level of existence for you. And as soon as you saw it, you were like, ooh, ambition hit your heart. And now if you can match it with contribution and you can see how that passion or that fire or that learning or that growth all aligns to some type of impact, now you're getting me fired up because now I can see the outcome of all the work. A lot of people don't do the work because they don't believe the outcome.
That's interesting.
You know, if psychologists talk about the power of expectancy. When we talk about motivation, there's only 2 things that spark motivation. One is ambition, and that is I want more of, or I want a greater depth of, right? I want a greater depth of connection with my lady, that's ambition. Or I want a better meditative practice, that's ambition, right? I want to be better at my job, that's ambition. So it starts with ambition. But ambition, if it's not coupled with what they call expectancy in psychology, you're screwed. Expectancy says, I believe that I can figure that out. I believe that I can achieve that. I believe that that is possible for me. Because if we don't believe it's possible for me, you can show them all the results from 1,000 people, right? How many people say, I want to get in great shape? You know, Tom, I'm gonna do ketosis. I'm doing the ketosis thing, man. And they hop on your Instagram and they see the cuts, they see the changes, they see the transformations, but they don't believe it's possible for them. So they don't try. Expectancy is their problem. You got to bust through the beliefs to get them to understand that it is possible for them, not for other people, for them. And if you can open that gate for somebody, and often that's only achieved through learning, then you get somebody who starts really moving ahead forward. I mean, really moving ahead. Like the second they go, wait, that's possible for me, they'll try 50 stupid things, right? They'll try anything. But if they don't believe it's possible for them, they'll just quit.
You see, the problem with passion is that you and I have bought into this massive fantasy world where we think that passion is a person or a place or a thing, that somehow, like a needle in a needle in a haystack, that you are somehow just going to stumble into the thing and you're going to find that one person, or you're going to find that one thing that you're meant to do, or you're going to find that career. And honestly, we got to change the way that you think about passion and purpose before you will actually be able to bring it into your life. Because the truth is, passion isn't in a person, it isn't in a place, and it isn't in a thing. It's something inside of you. And when you flip the definition of what passion is, and when you actually understand what you're looking for, when you say, I want to discover my passion, then you'll be able to create more of it in your life.
You ask a person, why are you so unhappy? Why are you so frustrated? Why are you so resentful? The moment you ask that, their brain is going to associate that emotion to a past event.
To a memory.
To a memory.
Yeah.
That's because they have nothing to look forward to in their future. So if you're not being defined by a vision of the future, it just means to me that you're more in love with your past than you are with the future. So how do you teach people to believe in a future that they can't see or experience with their senses yet, but they've thought about enough times in their mind that their brain is literally changed to look like the event has already occurred? The latest research in neuroscience says that's absolutely possible. We know that. And how do you teach a person to select a new possibility in their future and begin to emotionally embrace that future before it's made manifest to such a degree that their body, as their unconscious mind, is believing it's living in that future reality in the present moment, and they're signaling new genes in new ways ahead of the environment. Now, till their body begins to change to look like the event has already occurred. We've proven that that's possible. Now think about this.
So the more you think about your desired future, the joy, the gratitude, the feelings you want to have that are more positive, the more you think about it as a future thing happening, the more your body shifts now.
Exactly. So your body is believing it's living in that future reality in the present moment. Now think about this. The stronger the emotion you feel from some condition in your life, the more altered you feel inside of you, the more you narrow your focus on the cause, and the brain freezes an image and takes a snapshot. And that memory now is embossed in the brain. It's branded in there. So then people think neurologically within the circuits of those past experiences, and they feel chemically within the boundaries of those emotions. And the stronger the betrayal, the stronger the trauma, the more the body's living in the past, right?
Crazy.
So how do you reverse that? So now, if you truly got passionate about a future, we've all done this. You get a wild idea in your mind and you start holding on to that vision and you're preoccupied with it. All of a sudden, the thought in your mind becomes the experience, and you start feeling the energy of the future.
Yeah.
Now, the stronger the emotion you feel from that vision, the more you're going to pay attention to the picture in your mind, and now you're remembering your future.
And vice versa, the stronger you pay attention to the feeling of the past, pain, you're going to create the pain in this moment.
Exactly. So it requires a coherent brain, and we now know that there's a formula for that, and we've got beautiful research to show that people can do it. They just have to practice. And it requires a coherent heart, because resentment, frustration, impatience creates a very incoherent heart.
Yeah.
And when that heart becomes incoherent, you stop trusting yourself. There's no energy there. You stop trusting in your future.
Wow.
So then, if there's physical evidence in your brain and body, physical evidence to look like the event has already occurred, it's quite possible you'll be thinking neurologically within the circuits of your future, and you'll begin to feel chemically within the boundaries of that emotion of your future. And how you think and how you feel is your state of being. And now your state of being is living in the future instead of the past. Now, the moment you disconnect from the emotion of your future because of traffic or some coworker or your ex or whatever people come up with, now you're back to the energy of your past. And now you're going to start looking for it, analyzing, why hasn't it happened? Well, if you're feeling the emotion of your future, why would you look for it? Because you would feel like it already happened, and that is the place where the magic happens. So then you can't just do this, get up, and then return back to your old state of being. You got to maintain that modified state
How
of
do you
mind and
maintain
body.
it when
That's
life
practice.
happens?
Well, let me finish.
If I punch you in the face right now, how do you maintain?
Well, of course. I mean, we all take blows in our lives,
Yeah.
and we all react emotionally. But the question is, how long are you going to react?
Right.
So then, if you can't mediate and regulate your emotional reactions, and those emotions linger for days, that's a
Years
mood.
for some people.
Mood, and then months, temperament, years, personality trait. So then the person's personality is literally based on the past. But they don't
Crazy.
know that because they're doing it over and over again. It becomes a subconscious program. So now, if it requires a coherent brain and a coherent heart, then we have to train people how to self-regulate.
In terms of finding your purpose, that seems like it's the first step, is getting comfortable with yourself, understanding that. How do we take that next step towards finding that purpose?
Yeah, so for me, I define it as your passion is for you, your purpose is for others. So your purpose is when you use your passion to serve others. That's the link. So for me, the focus actually first becomes, what's your passion? Like, what are you passionate about? What do you enjoy doing? And then the parts that's usually missed. So everyone hears, follow your passion, find your passion. It's like a cliche, it's everywhere. The difference is, get really good at it. Like, get so good at it. And everyone always misses that point. You can be as passionate as you want about tennis, but if you're not really good at tennis, no one's gonna care. And no one's going to take note. And I think that's often missed, that not only do you need to find what you're passionate about, you need to turn it into an expertise, which is undeniable. And that requires the hard work, that requires the work ethic, that requires the early mornings, that requires the training in whatever field you want to be. And that's going to make you successful. So when you figure out your passion and you get really good at it, you're going to become successful. But you're only going to be happy when you use that success to help other people. And then you've got to figure out that link to purpose. So you're going to find your purpose. So when you realize, hey, I'm really good at this, I love it, I get a lot of happiness from doing it. When you start using that to make a difference in other people's lives in any way, it automatically switches into a purpose. So you don't need to find your purpose. It's just an automatic evolution of finding your passion and being really good at it. And that's where we're messing up, that we haven't found something we love, and we haven't found something that we love that we've got really good at. So what we usually do with our lives is we do things that we're not good at and don't love, right? Or we do things that we're good at but don't love. And we need to switch into the spaces of things that we love but are not good at and get really good at them, and start finding out things that you are good at and you do love.
If you want to see the one-on-one I did recently with Dave Hollis, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
You can either have multiple good days in a row, or you can be an entrepreneur, but you can't have both. There's a limiting belief of some kind. There's someone who has told a story that you've decided to believe,